Hi, welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. So, we're going right into it, calling in the Ascended Masters, the Most High's energy, the ancestors that are for our highest and greatest good, to give us insight and guidance as to what is going on in our energy, what are the messages that are most important and that are coming forward. That we may receive these messages with truth and integrity, and that they may be given with care and compassion. Okay, so now that we've called in the appropriate energy, let's find out what's going on today. Okay, that's a lot. So, the ancestors, the Most High, is talking about our soul journey and the things that are coming forward. Where we're at in the soul's journey. And right now, the focus is on the divine feminine energy. And remember that we all have divine feminine energy, whether you're a man or a woman. But this is about balancing out the scales. Many of you are on your soul's journey and you're coming into this essence of being being on your path of balancing the feminine energy, meaning there's been this essence of, thank you, there's been this essence of where we haven't nurtured the divine feminine energy, and many will say that we have, but if you think about it, we live in a very patriotic society, and that's not to say that it's wrong or right. This isn't about wrong or right. It's simply about balancing out the scales and finding harmony. And in order for us to do that, whether you're a man or a woman, it takes balancing the feminine energy. The feminine energy is about receptivity. The feminine energy is about care and compassion. It's about tapping into nature, balancing things out with nature. It's about that powerful healing energy and being able to transmute denser energies. The masculine energy tends to want to take action in a very movement kind of a way. Like it's not, I don't want to say it's not. It's usually in a way where not to say anything is good or bad. In this essence, if you look at our society today, war is the first thing that's talked about. It's the thing that's so quickly to happen, versus taking a more transformative way. Instead of jumping into the energy of war that's very dense, there's also the way of surrender. And when I speak of this way of surrender, it's about listening to the whispers of the divine, listening to the whispers of your soul, finding a more creative way to seek solutions. Not about trying to suppress or control another individual. That's not the strongest vibration to bring in harmony. The soul's journey is now moving to, and this is for many of you that are resonating with this message, the soul's journey is now moving on the path towards wholeness. It's coming from a place of moving away from distorted masculine energy, moving away from distorted feminine energy, and taking on the concepts of not projecting like control and dominance over another, but in a way of subconsciously sensing the wholeness and then allowing the transformational power of acceptance of another, acceptance of kindness. War is not usually the kindest of vibrations. It's saying, I'll tell you what your truth is and you're going to do it because I said that's your truth. And that's not the most enlightened way to move about things. That's what many of you have come into on your soul's journey. The Vesica Pisces speaks of things coming together. The masculine with the one circle and then the feminine. And then this collaborating of energies within the midst of it all is where the mind and the heart come together. Not being so in the masculine of logic and then needing to take action on those thoughts, but being in touch with the heart and also seeing what that's saying. Is it a compassionate, are the thoughts you're having in alignment with the actions you're taking? Is your heart and your mind coming together with the intentions that are being set? It's when you tap into that heart and the mind to balance it out that you can tap into knowing your truth fully. Because if you're too much in your head, then you got one aspect of it. And then if you're too much in your heart, well, then you got another aspect of it. And it's not to say that either is wrong. No. It's just that if you're very logical, without the heartfelt compassion, then your intentions, will they fully create the harmony and the balance? This is what the message is speaking of today. About tapping into those deeper emotions. Because today, nobody really wants to, let me not say it like that. Today, if you're a very emotional person, or you're an empath, or you're sensitive, it's not always, it hasn't always been, there's been an out of balance. Let me say it like that. There's been an out of balance. And so now there's just this balance that's coming forth that's now weighing the heart along with the mind. Okay? This message isn't for everyone. It's for those that it resonates with. Those that can share the energy of kindness. Those that can tap into that energy of hearing the whispers of their soul. Because the soul comes from a higher vibration for most. Now, some say there are soulless beings. Take it as it resonates. If you don't have a soul, then it will be difficult for you to balance out your heart and mind coherence. And that's just robots, NPCs. But those of you who are spiritual beings with a soul, this is your message about knowing your truth, about setting your intentions. And many of you, these intentions were set before, I'm hearing before you came here. This is where the unknown feelings are coming from. For some of you, it's like past life influence. But your soul decided to make this journey. For some of you, this journey is about creating balance and being able to stand firm. And the standing firm isn't the standing firm isn't about it's like, you ever heard the words fierce compassion? It doesn't sound like that goes together. Fierce compassion. That's what this is speaking of. That's what the standing firm is balancing out. Thank you. That there's a new day arising, a new dawn arising. It's like we're saying, baggage be gone by to the way of being out of balance with the heart and the mind. Too much in your yin energy or too much in your yang energy. It's about that fine balance, that line that goes between, somewhere in the middle. Now, some would say, and that's where the abundance comes from. Card number 17, 7 and 1 is 8. We're in that year of the abundance, where we're saying goodbye to being too logical, too much in the mind, too much in the aggressiveness. Aggression is the word I just heard. Okay, aggression. Saying bye to those things, to also being like too sensitive. Nobody's saying be a weeping willow, but just be in touch with your emotions, to have that balance between the yin and the yang. This is the abundance that's coming forth. This is going to bring in that ability to go with the flow and balance things out. This is where it's saying bye to that out of balance, so that a new dawn can arise. Many of you are letting go and cleansing, letting go and receiving, letting go and tapping into this vibration of wholeness, acknowledging the full spectrum. The full spectrum is balancing out the yin and the yang. The full spectrum is about holding the vision that you and others are already perfect. There's no need to force, but more to heal and transmute. No need to suppress or control. But healing through the transformational power of acceptance, of kindness, bringing any fractured parts. And the fracture happens on a soul level. It's bringing those pieces home, Othala room here, so that you feel the energy of wholeness again. And the broken pieces that are happening on a soul level happen because for some of you in certain lifetimes, you've had trauma, relationship-wise, trauma going to war, I'm hearing. Trauma in a different of aspects. Take the energy where it resonates with you. But there's this energy of, in this lifetime, setting intentions on a soul level. This is a part of your soul journey. And it's like those whispers from the soul are coming forth now. And it's bidding bye-bye to those deep emotions that were underneath the surface, that are underneath the surface but are still active within your life in this lifetime. Meaning you do certain things and may not even realize why things are going a certain way or why you do certain things. Going into this journey of wholeness, bringing back those fractured pieces of yourself, healing those deep emotions, whether they're past life or just deep emotions from this lifetime. stepping into this enlightenment. Too many. Stepping into this enlightenment, and many of you, it is a journey. It's a journey, but for some of you, it's like it's a journey you're taking with others. I heard, what? Teamwork makes the dream work. So for some of you, it's like you're coming back to family on a soul level. There's this beneficial connection, a trusting, when it comes to family. Some of you are healing the feminine, the maternal aspect of your lineage. You see how there's 3 generations here, the mother, the daughter, and the child? It hasn't been an easy journey. For some of you, it took knowing your truth. But now that you know the truth, you're able to move forward in a way towards enlightenment where you're able to express yourself. Many things have come up for many of you on this soul's journey, but you needed that enlightenment is what I'm getting. Because this enlightenment is now bringing you to this essence of wholeness, bringing you able to call back the pieces of you home, bringing forth a brighter version of yourself, a more empowered version as you let go. And some of you have been praying about this. And there's this cleansing now of the maternal line, but also a cleansing of the feminine energy, whether you're masculine or feminine. Being able to tap into that side of you confidently. And being able to express what you're feeling. There's a renewal that's creating stability by knowing this truth. This renewal is bringing in a firmer foundation where you're able to stand confidently. Stand and not bring the past emotions to weigh things down. This foundation feels lighter. It's light but firm. I just heard like aluminum. Aluminum is a very sturdy metal, but it's very lightweight. So whenever things are being built and they need to have a sturdy structure but not be weighed down, aluminum's one of those metals that can be used. For many of you, these unknown feelings were weighing you down in a very cloudy way. Thank you. But with this renewal, it's bringing forth the truth. And the truth is, I just heard the truth will set you free. Well, the truth is setting many of you free, but it's also bringing you into this energy of leadership. The energy of leadership in this essence is about protecting, being not just a boss, but a leader. One that protects and provides. And not just for self, but for all that are connected. This is a part of the truth that's coming forward. Cleansing away the negative energy. Grounding anger, grounding resentment. The feminine energy is that calming effect on the heart. So instead of feeling irritated or impatient, it's about setting the intention to gain the truth in a more calm way. Calmness is not a weakness, I'm hearing. It actually allows you to tap into the enlightenment so that there can be a renewal. A renewal that benefits the entire team, I just heard. Leadership from a higher essence, higher vibration. Beauty. Not just stuck on the superficial because it looks good, but is it actually beneficial? Is it beneficial to all involved, or does it just look good from the outside? Saying baggage be gone to the things that weigh down, to the things that look good on the outside but are detrimental to the soul. This is a part of some of you with your soul's journey, and you're coming into this wisdom. You're hearing the whispers. You're receiving the enlightenment. The whole deck, honey, that is too many. Come again. As you're setting intentions, set the intentions not only for self, but so that even those that you come into contact with, that you collaborate with, that it'll be on a firm foundation, a healthy foundation, a foundation where all things come together and there is beauty and benefits for all involved. See, they confirmed it. Letting go. Oh, you got it upside down. Letting go of distorted masculine energy and moving towards working together to build things in a very luminous way. Because for so long it's been a very distorted masculine energy that we've moved in. It's not to blame anyone, it just is what is. But it's time to trust that there is a more luminous way, a way of cleansing out the distorted masculine energy, saying bye-bye, baggage be gone. The distorted masculine energy, where it's all about the money and all about the control and all about the suppressing, all about I got to get there to get that money. It's all about the bag, but none of that. It looks pretty on the outside, but how is it really on the inside? Is it clouding up the enlightenment? There's a renewal, and it's time to express that. The distorted masculine energy has happened on many levels, to the point where there's not even one parent in the home now to raise the children. Not a mother or a father. And it doesn't matter whether you're a stay-at-home dad or a stay-at-home mom. The whole point about the distorted masculine energy is that everything became about getting to the bag, about dominance, about control and suppression, about war, about the banking and the banking financial institutions. Many people, even in a two-parent home, majority of the time the children are raised outside of the home. And when we do spend time with them at home, there's some kind of a technology in front of them, whether it's a tablet or a phone. Many of us, and this might seem like an old school tradition, but when is the last time you actually sat at a dinner table without a phone or a tablet and actually just spoke to the people around you? 1 hour a day. We got 24 hours in a day, they say, right? Are we going to be open to this healing information? I mean, Most of us sit. I mean, I'm truthfully me too. I can't tell you the last time I've sat at a dinner table. You grab your food, you grab your phone, you go sit on a chair somewhere. Some of us lay down in bed. Let's keep it real. You go to your room. When is the last time you actually ate a meal without your phone in front of you or your tablet in front of you? When your children come home from daycare, how many of us just hand them a tablet or a phone? They got their own tablets and phones. But how much of a conversation have you had with them? Even on the ride home, are you talking to them or are they on the phone? If you think about it, for real, many of us have children and you don't even communicate with them. You spend less than an hour in a 24-hour day literally holding a conversation with your children to find out where their head and their heart is, what's going on with them in school. I mean, this is healing information. This is how it's coming out. I'm not saying it's good or bad. We're asking the question. When was the last time you literally communicated with your children? Because, I mean, you went to work, you talked to your boss, you talked to all of your clients, you talked to your wife or your husband when you wanted to get a little bit. But when is the last time you sat with your children? It's quicker to put on Coco Melon and sit them in a corner or on a chair somewhere. But what have you talked to them about? What lessons of wisdom within you have you departed into them? How does it go? Train up a child in the way that they should go and they shall not depart. Who's teaching your children today? Coco Melon and whatever else is on the phone? How do we get to this sacred healing if we're allowing others to take your innocence, the innocence of the youth? They're not receiving wisdom from you, but only through their tech knowledge. This is a part of this healing information. This is where the divine wanted to take this today. Not saying that anything is wrong with technology. It's not. But do you become the tool? Technology is supposed to be a tool, something we use as an assistance. Like you would use a spatula to flip a pancake. You don't have that spatula in your hand all the time. You use it for what it's for and then you put it down. But how many of you would your children, us, I mean, I don't have little children, but how many of us, if you took the phone away from your child, they would have a hissy fit? Scream, yell, and cry because you took the phone away from them or you won't give them your phone. It's gotten so to like even after the school, what messages do you have for this to close this up? You don't even talk to them in the car. You on the radio or you're on the phone and they're in the back seat. Nothing against Coco Melon. I like it. Hey, my nephews and them listen to it too. When we stopped having the conversations at the dinner table, at least you would take the 10-15 minute ride and speak to them in the car. Now, when is the last time you've literally sat 5 or 10 minutes to have a conversation with your children? They speak more to a teacher or a caregiver than they do with you. If you check the hours on their tablet or their phone, they have more time logged in with a tablet or a phone than with actual conversations with you. This is somebody's message. It's all of our message. We only got one out here. It's time to move quickly towards calmer waters. And how do you calm the waters? By staying connected to the younger generation. Staying connected to even our hearts and minds and balancing them out. If you're having to balance out your heart and mind Don't you think the next generation coming up is needing to balance out the way things are being said to them, how quickly technology is moving, ways for them to peacefully self-regulate without handing over technology? Message got a lot of different kind of messages going in, and then it takes, we used to say it takes a village to raise a child. Now it just takes AI and a phone to raise a child. Give them a tablet, sit them in a corner. There are things we are working on and or need to work on to build as a community, to build a more luminous future. When is the last time you took the kids to the park to get out and play? Or do you just leave it for them when they're in recess at school? We used to go outside and play, and now we all sit indoors the majority of the time. And you notice I said we. I'm not speaking like I'm not in this loop too. I'm a part of the collective. But it's time for a reminder. Because our youth are growing, and they grow so quickly. Before you know it, you look around and they trust their robot, their technology, more than they trust you. There is some healing information that we need to be open to. It's time to know our truth and be the leaders that we desire to see. It can be challenging, a little tricky, but there's time for a renewal and an awakening. To listen to our soul as it's speaking. Is it easy? No. But just as you need to express your feelings, encourage your youth and the children to express their feelings. This is how we're going to have a new dawn and a new day. Letting technology be a tool, but not being the tool of technology. It's time to nurture our youth, nurture the divine feminine energy within all of us, nurture our relationships and balance them out when it comes to family, when it comes to us as a collective, when it comes to yin and yang energy, when it comes to what we're creating and how we create when it comes to home. Whether you have children or not, you can always volunteer with children. You have nieces and nephews you can still communicate with, so that it doesn't get to a point where they don't even want to talk to you. They just want the phone. They want the tablet. We have the heliotrope crystal here, and this crystal is all about the cleansing of negative energy. You see, a lot of time the negative energy also comes from the EMF, the electromagnetic frequencies. They're so absorbent in abundance around us. There's an abundance of EMF, electromagnetic frequencies, that come from our phones. If your child has a phone in their hand constantly, go to sleep with the phone, wake up, need the phone, riding with the phone in the car, they have that electromagnetic frequency always around them. And this electromagnetic frequencies affect the nervous system. It affects the blood. It's time for us to get very vulnerable with ourselves. Being okay to recognize that we have some tricky challenges that need to be overcome. Because if technology gets to take over with our youth, If we lose the younger generations, we've lost. Literally, we've lost. What do I mean? I mean that there won't be this coherence. It's already difficult for the youth to speak to the older generation sometimes. Where at one time, grandmothers and grandfathers were cherished. The youth could learn all kind of things from grandpa when he would garden, pull up peanuts. I used to pull up peanuts with my grandfather, and he grew sugar cane. This generation, it's a distorted masculine. You're in your suit, you go to your corporate office or your job or whatever this is, and it's about getting money. Now I get it. We need money to survive, supposedly. That's how this distorted system is catering. But this system then takes you completely away from your youth and the connection between them. It's time for us to breach that system, break that barrier, tap into these emotions, meaning tap in with your youth, listen to them express themselves, show them healthier ways to tap into their emotions other than grabbing a phone and then just tuning out, grabbing a phone and numbing it. Breaching that barrier to express your emotions in a healthy way so that they're able to express themselves in a way. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy technology just as much as the next person. But there also needs to be a balance of nurturing. A balancing that happens when we're open to the healing information. So that there is a sacred healing that occurs. Where we set the intention to be leaders of our families, of ourselves, in our community. Teamwork makes the dream work. It used to say it takes a village. How do we move into this luminescence era of luminosity? We're in the age of Aquarius. We have all this enlightened wisdom. As we're receiving this enlightenment in the mind, are we balancing it out with our hearts, where our children are able to express themselves in a balanced way, where they're stable in their enlightenment and in their heart, where their heart and their mind are coherent? As we're taking on this leadership of capabilities within self, can we also impart this into the next generation? Okay, there's an awakening that's happening, and it's about sacred healing of the family, of the home, of the divine feminine energy. That has been this message. I want to thank you for joining me, Tonae Star, here with Tonae Star Enterprises, as we're setting the intention to become the leaders we want to see, and being open to healing information, being open to moving into calmer waters, about our relationships with family, so as I say, always shoot for the moon, and even if you miss, you're still amongst the stars. And always, always, always let your light shine bright. Thank you for joining me.